Okay, so today we're going to go ahead and do 9.2, which is comparing rational numbers. So what I want you to do on the top of your notes is write these two symbols. Okay, this symbol is greater than, and this symbol is less than. I always remember that because of my Pac-Man. Pac-Man will always want to eat the bigger number. So today, in your notes, I'm going to go ahead to the key concepts. You can compare negative rational numbers by using a number line in the same way that you can compare positive rational numbers. So you should see this snip on your page. What I want you to do is write the following. I want you to write numbers to the right, don't mind my handwriting, are bigger and numbers to the left, okay, go and write it out. I'm going to do this. Numbers to the left are smaller. Okay, and now we're going to go to the next page on your notes.
1/3 is to the left of 1/2 on the number line. So, 1/3 is less than 1/2. Similarly, 1/2 is to the right of 1/3 on the number line. So, 1/2 is greater than 1/3.
So you're going to see that they use something like the commutative property to flip these two numbers around. First, they put 1/3 first, and then second, they put 1/3 second. But if you're using the commutative property with these, you need to remember to flip around your symbols. Next page on your notes.
Negative 1/3 is to the right of negative 1/2 on the number line. So negative 1/3 is greater than negative 1/2. Negative 1/2 is to the left of negative 1/3 on the number line. So negative 1/2 is less than negative 1/3.
I would like for you to go ahead and draw in the positive 1/3 here and the positive 1/2 here. Now remember, we're just reflecting across the 0 point for both of these, okay? And if you think about it, 1/3 is equal to 0.33, okay? And 1/2 is equal to 0.5. So that means negative 1/3 is equal to negative 0.33, and negative 1/2 is equal to negative 0.5, or negative 5/10. I think about money. I would much rather owe somebody negative 33 cents than negative 50 cents.
On a number line, numbers increase from left to right, and numbers decrease from right to left.
Okay, go to flip your notes over. It should say example with this problem.
Use the points and the number line to plot the rational numbers given in each problem below. Then, use an inequality sign to compare each pair of numbers.
Okay, so as I look at this, like we learned yesterday, I always look at 0 and 1 and figure out how many times are they cutting this. Well, the answer is they're cutting it once, so I know that they're cutting it into 2 parts, so this is 1/2. Each little tally is going to be equal to 1/2. So if I have 1 and 1/10, I'm going to go ahead to 1, and I know 1/10 is less than 1 and 1/2, so I'm going to put it right about here. Okay, well, if I have 1 and 1/10, okay, 1 and 1/6, what do I need to do to figure this one out? Well, I know that I'm going to have to figure out if I divide 1/6, I need to divide 1/6 in order to compare as decimals, okay? Or I could look at this and say, okay, well, 1 and 1/10 is the same as 1 and 1/10. They need to know 1 1/10 versus 1 1/6. Well, I need to convert to decimals because it's hard to really compare 10 and 6 right now. So when I do that, 6 goes on the outside, 1 on the inside. Go and put this in your notes. There's plenty of room. 6 does not go into 1, which is fine. Okay, so does 6 go into 10? Yes. Okay, 6 goes into 10 once. Minus 6 equals 4. Add my 0. 6 goes into 40 6 times. And so far that's enough, because right here we have 1 1/10. And now we're going to have for this one, going right underneath it, 1.16. So which one's bigger? I know this one's going to be bigger. Oops, I could drag that down. So my Pac-Man is eating the bigger number. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and plot that on the number line. That's going to go right over here. So now they want to know the opposite. Well, don't automatically copy this, because since we're going into the negatives, it might be a little bit different. Negative 1 1/10 is going to be right here, okay, and negative 1.6 would be here, okay. So if they're asking me about the opposites, the greater than signs are going to be different. I'm going to go ahead and clear this off so we can go to B. Okay, when I go to B, they want to know negative 1 1/3. Well, I know negative 1 1/3. 1/3 is equal to 0.33, so it's not quite 1/2. Okay, and then I guess I'll make that blue so it's easier for you to see. And negative 1.6 is a little bit past 0.5, so that'll be right here. Well, which one is bigger, meaning farther to the right? The number farther to the right is the blue one, negative 1 1/3. It is greater than this number because it's farther on the right on the number line. Let's look at this one. Okay, I know negative 2/3 will be equal to 0.66. Okay, so which one is going to be greater? Well, let's think about it. Negative 0.75 is right here because we know each small line is a half. Okay, and then negative 2/3 is equal to 0.66, so it's going to be right here. Which one's bigger? Well, I know that negative 2/3 is greater than this number because it's farther on the right on the number line. Okay, let's keep going. If I have negative 1/4, well, I know 1/4. I think about money, so if I have 1/4, I have 25 cents. Okay, 1/4 or 0.35, which one's bigger? I think about money. I know that. I would much rather have 35 cents than 25 cents. Okay, now when we look at this next problem, we're going to notice that this number right here is an improper fraction. So that is equivalent to negative 1 1/3. Okay, and I'm going to plot these on the number line. So if I have 2/3, negative 2/3, well, that's going to be somewhere right here. Okay, because we saw that was equal to 0.66 or negative 0.66. And if I have negative 1 1/3, it's going to go somewhere in here. So I know I would much rather be farther on the right on the number line, meaning our blue friend is greater than the red one. Okay, go ahead and try this last one. We have a positive number and a negative number. What will go into F? Go ahead and freeze if you need to, and I am going to move on. You can use the number line. What symbol correctly compares the pair of rational numbers below?
Number lines are great for comparing negative numbers. Even if I don't have a pencil and paper, I can close my eyes and picture any number line I want in my mind.
Go ahead and try this one. Okay, which one of these symbols should go in there? When you are done, I'm moving on to part 2.
The absolute value of any rational number is its distance from 0.
So go ahead and skip over that example. I do not know where I put the absolute value in our notes. So go ahead and follow along with me, please. And I would like you to take some notes at the bottom of your paper. There's a lot of purple room for you. Okay, so it says compare each number. Compare each number. Well, I know that. I left a whole section up, guys. Go ahead and write this on your notes at the bottom with me, okay? The absolute value of 1.25 and the absolute value of 1 1/2, I know that this symbol will go in the blank space. So in your notes, I should see A, and the absolute value of 1.25, end bracket, is less than the absolute value of 1 1/2. Okay, go ahead on to B. Well, I know 1/3 is equal to 0.33. Okay, so the symbol I need to see is what? Let's compare. Which one is farther to the right on the number line? The answer should be this one, because I would much rather have negative 33 cents than negative 67 cents. Again, all of these need to be in your notes for points. Okay, here I have the absolute value of 1 1/2, which I know will be equal to 1.5. Okay, and the absolute value of negative 1 1/2, well, that's also equal to 1.5. So I should put a equal sign in there. Go ahead and try this one. Okay, if you want, you can pause and do the next few, okay, and see if you were correct. This one I know is negative 1.5, and the absolute value of that is going to be positive 1.5. And this one is negative 1.8. The absolute value of that is 1.8. So which one is bigger? I know that. I would much rather have $1.80 than $1.50. Down here, absolute values. They're both going to be positive again. So that means this would be equal to 0.5, and this would be equal to 0.33. Well, which one is greater? This one. Okay, what's bigger, the absolute value of 1.8 or the absolute value of 0? Go ahead and put that in your notes. I would like to see A, B, C, D, E, and F, not just the signs, but with the numbers. Okay, and I'm going to go on to the next. Got it. Okay, it says at the top of your page, what symbol correctly compares the absolute values below? Go ahead and put a symbol in there, either less than, greater than, or equal to, and I'm moving on to part 3.
Compare the elevation of a bottlenose dolphin's regular dive for food to the deepest trained dive ever recorded for a bottlenose dolphin. Then explain the meaning of 0 on the